Good Sunday afternoon. It is November 27th, 2016. I'm doing a special update on the incoming rain event that could produce anywhere between 1 to 3 to 3.5 inches of rain in western Kentucky specifically. Right now, looking at current radar, we do have rain moving through Oklahoma City, just west of Kansas City. They actually had a few raindrops early on this morning, but you can tell the system is beginning to ramp up. Taking a look at current dew points, we have some dry air in place right now, which is a change from the last several days where we had a lot of low level moisture in place, which led to a lot of cloud cover and low clouds for several days in a row at the end of last week. Now that we got rid of those clouds, we are already starting to get new clouds rolling back in, and by the hour here, they are getting thicker up inside the atmosphere right now as this system draws closer to our area. Dew points right now mostly uniform in the 30s, but they are increasing. This is the past 3 hours, and you can tell in the loop that they are beginning to increase in those numbers, and so is that rain coming closer to our area. We need the rain really bad because right now in the past 90 days, right now we are in a severe drought, but in the past 90 days, some areas have got just 1.9 inches. That would be out of the National Weather Service in Paducah up there. So definitely something to take into note that we really do need this rain because of the severe drought that we're in. Some of us still holding on in moderate drought category, but that's pretty close to the Ohio River in those areas. Most of us in the severe drought, and we need the rain very badly. We need about 10 inches to end the drought completely, and I'm not going to say that we're going to get this all in one event, but we are going to get at least something to put a dent into the drought. So that is good news as always. Looking at the Futurecast radar, this is the NAM guidance. This is the Futurecast, what the radar is supposed to look like in the future. And as we move throughout this evening, we begin to see that rain coming closer to our area. And by the time we're getting to late tonight, early Monday morning, around midnight, we're already starting to see some raindrops just to the west of us. And then by Monday morning, we're beginning to see those raindrops finally move into the area. And we will begin to see those raindrops increase in size and intensity as they begin to move into our area from the south and west. As we go into around sunrise Monday, you can tell that rain really does increase, and we are already seeing rainfall rates up to possibly a half inch per hour in some areas if that rain does become as intense as what this model is showing in particular. That rain just continues to pound over our region, and by the time we're getting to Monday evening, where I think the most intense rain is going to fall, we are going to be seeing that rain begin to move out by the time you are going to bed Monday night. Early Tuesday morning is when the rain really will start to clear out of my eastern counties. That would be really if you drew a line from Owensboro and a county eastward all the way down to Bowling Green. It should start to exit those areas around or just before sunrise on Tuesday morning, and all of this will be out of here. Looking at another Futurecast radar, this does not go out as far as what I was just showing you. This just shows the next 18 hours, and you can tell it does show the beginning of that rain event moving into our area around 3 to 4 a.m. for our western counties. That would be the purchase area of western Kentucky, around or just before sunrise tomorrow morning on Monday morning, while many of you are heading back to work and school after the holiday break. It's going to be tough getting out of bed with those raindrops falling outside your window and tapping on them. That rain does begin to increase on this model in intensity as well, and if this model were to go out further than 18 hours, it would also show that rain building in size and intensity. And if you followed weatherbell.com premium, you would be able to tell that this radar would be able to go out to those 18 hours further. Excuse me, that you would be able to check tomorrow and get to see the rest of this event pan out on Futurecast Radar. A very neat tool to use. This is rainfall totals. We're going to look at 3 different models. This is the first model. This is the NSET model, and I do like this model when it comes to rainfall totals. It does do a very good job. This is showing that we are going to see anywhere between 2 to 3 inches in a swath. Sorry about that. In a swath all the way back to Arkansas, western Tennessee, the Boot Hill of Missouri. Most of the models are beginning to tone in on agreement that we are going to see a swath of rain anywhere from northeast Arkansas and then up to western Kentucky in the Purchase area. Now, the further east in western Kentucky that you head, I think rainfall totals will gradually decrease. It's not going to be a sharp cutoff. Many of us are going to pick up a widespread inch of rain at least. I think many of us pick up at least an inch of rain, if not more, for most of us in western Kentucky. But the further west you head in western Kentucky, the higher chances you have of seeing at least 2 inches of rain. Some areas might pick up 3 inches of rain. I wouldn't be surprised if isolated rain gauges pick up 3.5 inches of rain, just depending on how this rain event pans out. Looking at another model, this is the INSEP NAM model, the 4KM model to be exact. You have the NAM model, just the regular, then there's the NAM 4KM. This is the NAM 4KM. It also shows that swath of heavier rain totals in the same areas. This is a little bit more, let's say, high resolution, so it has those specific bands of rain moving through. So it makes it a little bit more trustworthy, but you can't take this to heart that that is going to be the exact rain band of a storm setting up in that particular area. Just take the idea that it is also showing the same idea of a swath of heavier rainfall through the western portions of western Kentucky, southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, and northwestern Tennessee. This is the INSEP NAM model there. I just showed you the NAM 4KM. This is the actual NAM model, just the regular, and you can tell that it doesn't pick up on those specific bands. It's a little bit more gradual, and it gives you the overall idea that there is also going to be, on this particular model, another heavier band of rain setting up in those exact same areas. This one's pushing the band of rain a little bit further eastward, and that has been a trend in the models. There has been a slight trend towards the south and east with the heavier rain axis. We'll have to watch that and see if that pans out to be correct. Some of those last-minute adjustments in the models are what saved them and end up being the correct solution. So we'll see how that pans out. We might end up seeing our heaviest totals right through the middle of western Kentucky, and if that's the case, which we don't want it to be, because that would be including some of my forecast counties, then that would be a little bit of a busier job for me, just monitoring the heavier rain axis more into my forecast counties. This is the wind speed in knots. So the knots and miles per hour, not that much of a change between each other. The miles per hour is just a little bit, by a mile or two per hour, stronger than a knot. So one knot would equal 1 point something mile per hour. So there's not that much of a difference between the two. But you can tell that as we move into Monday morning, we begin to see those winds increasing. Remember, this is in knots, not miles per hour, but not much of a change. You can tell that the winds do increase in speed as we go into the afternoon hours, which is also when the most intense rainfall is going to be falling as well. I think there will be some sort of rain band move through the area. Not sure if it's going to be a squall line. I think there will be a squall line to our south associated with severe weather, but I don't think that our region is going to experience any severe weather from this event. I think just heavy rain would be the main threat. But if that squall line were to somehow show up in the midst of our heavy rainfall in our region, then we would end up seeing possible severe weather alerts going out to the area. And I will be covering those, as always, if that were to be the case. Monday evening, those winds will be hitting their strongest peak around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Remember, this is sustained winds. These are not wind gusts. Wind gusts could be anywhere between 30 to 40 miles per hour. So any of those loose objects outside, you want to bring those in. Any of those shrubbery or mums outside, make sure and bring those in as well. The wind and the rain beating together on those particular objects will be quite rough on them, so make sure and take necessary precautions ahead of this event. Also, clear drainage areas. We have a lot of leaves off of the trees right now. We're already past our fall foliage, and so those leaves that are stuck in those drains are going to clog them when all of this heavy rain comes at once. These rains will be coming in bands, and they will be coming in waves. We will have light to moderate rain most of the time, but you will have some periods where you have that heavier burst of rain coming through. And if that were the case, we could see some isolated flood-prone areas become a little bit underwater, which is a big change after our drought that we have been experiencing for quite some time, and we will continue to experience the drought until we can get more rain events like this one to come through the area. Eventually, we will end the drought, but for right now, we have to get through this rain event, which looks to be a pretty good one and will put quite a dent into our drought.